All right, so we're
Finish
starting recording. Anyway, welcome everybody back to Felling a Tyrant, episode 9. I can't believe we got all the way here. We're recording this during the holidays. It's going to come out after the holidays, but I hope you all had a great holiday season nonetheless. I hope you all got some cool Doom Link stuff over the holidays. If you didn't, use our code until Ragnarok to get 50% off your entire Doom Link's order. And go ahead and drop a comment in the session in the comment section telling me what you got, and maybe we can all play together sometime. We can meet up at one of these many events we're going to go to next year. Yep. And play some Doom Links, or tell us your favorite card. And if you put your favorite card in the comment section and I see it and I agree with you, maybe I'll buy you a pack of cards. Anyway, we'll see it there. Make sure to like and subscribe and do all the stuff that I'm supposed to say every episode that I never will. Anyway, let's jump right back into this shit. Okay. We left off last time with kind of on a lighter note. It was good. Our group just got back. The Minotaur archaeologists led by Grant and the Doctor are joined the Soul Caravan. And they brought their own caravan, connecting it. It's this big, lumbering behemoth of a metal, it almost looks like a train car getting hooked up to this caravan that's being pulled by 5 or 6 large oxen on the side and one large oxen in the back, just kind of pushing it along. This is going to take the caboose of the entire caravan now, but this is where they keep all the stuff they've found. Juju and Grant seem to get along famously because all of a sudden now he's got another person who just wants to find and apprehend really cool items. And Juju, you find, is an antiquer of sorts. But Juju has called for each of you to come over to his kind of where he sits on the top of his cart overlooking everything, and join him so that he can kind of have a conversation with everybody about what's next. So it's I would say that right now it's evening. The soot-colored sky is just kind of setting. There's these oranges and reds and deep purples that kind of shine through. In a time of turmoil and chaos and just harshness, there's this moment of real beauty in the sky. And you all are standing on top of this cart in what I would say is kind of like southern, a little bit damp nighttime weather, but at the same time like humid almost. But it's got like that nice breeze that cuts through and just kind of makes everything feel good. Isis, your fur would just almost puff up a little bit, feeling like this breeze that and you could smell the like nice crisp air coming off the top of the mountain range to the west, I believe. And it's just it's a very settled night as all the other carts and caravans begin to pull their stuff back in at the marketplace. Juju's kind of sitting in this little hammock that he has made up. Asen, you met him here once before to talk about what you want out of life and how you want followers to clean your blades. Soul, you've spoken to Juju here as well about just if you've ever met anybody else from the Rana Clutch and other things during these times of travel. But as you all gather, Grant says his farewells to Juju. There's some like little trinkets and baubles left on the table in front of him. And Grant, as he's leaving, happens to have it's like this little glass flower that's very delicate and has a wire attached to the back of it, and it's rolled up, and he just slides it into Mayron's hair as he walks past her without saying anything.
She has a lot of hair, so it's very easy to do.
There you go. But Juju greets you all. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for coming. So we have to think about where we're going to go next. I talked to to Blue a little bit, and he was saying that maybe we should go hide off from one of the mountain ridges, or make our way back towards the floating temple, Soul, because we will have to end up there, I believe. Yes, Isis?
Yes, we would need to ideally end back up there, but we're also, with the specific ore that we're working with, I can't just use regular oil to quench it. I need something else, something magical, maybe.
He holds up this small little book, almost like a field note journal, and there are inlaid ruins on it, and a symbol that maybe is almost visible. Like it's something that you would, if you caught it, you might recognize it, but it's the symbol of one of the old gods from far back in the day, and it's the symbol of the Forge Keep. And he kind of spins through, and he points to something, and it shows, it's like this small little hand drawing that almost looks like it was drawn in like ink, and it's kind of smudged a little bit, but in the drawing it would show this well, and he says, this says that you were able to that we were used to be able to distill dragonkin or dragon blood into a silver liquid, and that was where magical things were brought together. Maybe this is the conductor we need, or the catalyst. This is what I'm hoping. I was hoping by now one of you four would have maybe killed a dragon, or
A different kind of dragon than the original one we killed, yeah.
done something. Yes.
Yeah. I feel like Asen would sit down, like, like cross legs, just, put one hand on each knee. We're still keeping the title, though.
Of course, of course. You would see Isis look a little bit thoughtful at the word distill, and then she would kind of look over at Audrey and be like, she can turn stuff into stuff. Yeah?
Yes.
She's like, have we ever fed her dragon's blood? Do we know what happened?
No.
I imagine it would taste sweet.
Oh yeah, why's that?
It's shiny.
I
assumed spicy, but that works.
It could be a spicy sweet and sour.
See that? It's
Like-
Like deep gnomish coffee.
Juju listens to all this and kind of smirks and goes, from my taste, it was just a little bit on the sour side.
There we go, sweet and sour.
I have so many questions.
I hate these.
Soul's just gonna almost just kind of cock his head at that and eye Juju one more time, just sizing him up like, all right.
As young
All
as
right.
he looks young, but the more you take him in, and the more you look at him, you realize that he's very old. There are signs of his elemental, like, it's almost like if you were look at a human, you'd see the crow's feet and like the weathered lines in the face. Instead, you can kind of see the elements like almost wearing in together. And one of the other things is he has all the elements in him, which most elementals never get to this age. So as outward looking as he is, there are signs that he is much older than he lets on. He would look down and say, well, I do have to move the caravan. We can't stay here long unless we are going to be tithed again and again. Do you want me to walk the thin line between where Underwing is and use us as a midway camp if you all were to ride out to the temple? Or should I just make way towards the temple again and we figure something out on the way? You're always welcome to our horses and anything that I can do for you, but we do have to move our massive caravan somewhere.
Yeah.
I have a feeling when we go to the temple, it's gonna light a beacon.
I agree with Sticky. Let's go back to the temple.
I that's not what I meant, but I like the enthusiasm.
What do you mean? You said we'd light a beacon. Therefore, they'd follow me.
Not
Right.
just whoever you want to follow you, though.
Everyone.
Everyone.
Could get us our dragon.
May give us
True.
more than one dragon.
All
With
I'd
the
have to
people.
do is stand on top of the caravan as we move down, and people would follow.
Mayrin,
At
how
least
long
this
does
time.
it normally take for Audrey to make something into something else?
Usually overnight.
Okay.
So we need the blood before we get to the forge. If we could get the blood on the way to the forge, that should be good.
That's what I
'Cause
was
that
thinking.
that is days.
I'm
Kind of lost track of the days.
I don't know. But I'm assuming it's a while. It's a good travel. Maybe we
I feel
move
like
towards the
dragon
temple.
follow me comment was like overlooked.
We move towards the temple. We rely on Aeson standing on top of the caravan the whole time. No rest. Just full on top of the caravan.
Right.
But we need this in order for this to work, Aeson. You have to. This is the major part of the plan.
No worries. Like, you could just look and be like, he's a fucking dragon slayer. It's like written.
Right. And then that will be what attracts all of the dragons to us as we're heading back to the temple so we can get the dragon's blood.
Correct. And then we would have slain 2 dragons.
Or more.
Yeah.
Or more, because I mean, you are a pretty formidable foe, Aeson.
Soul will thoughtfully just do exactly what I did: cross arms and then a hand on the chin, and just. We do have one thing that would get their attention. The key is currently cloaked, but
Yeah.
we could rip that open, draw something to us.
I say we move towards the temple, get about a day or so away, maybe, and wait to pull it out then.
The only thing is, the dragon we know is on this route
On this route.
is that big gold fucker.
Yeah. Either way, I feel like we at least should still move to not draw his attention amongst this giant group of people. We should move a little out of town.
Definitely.
So, is that the long way?
Juju will kind of smile and listen to all of this and nod his head. I think what I'll do is send some people ahead to make sure that our path is open, and we will take the road down through the forest again, alongside the foothills, back towards, almost backtracking a little bit, but we'll steer away from the deeper forest. We'll stay on the outside of it, and that way, as we make our way back towards the floating temple, we'll at least be able to see ahead of time, so we'll know if there's anything going to and from it. You'll be able to see the skyline.
If we see a target, we've got the bait.
Yeah.
The downside of this, though, is that we will also be in eyesight on the road. Is that okay? If Aeson is going to stand on top of the caravan with me.
Didn't think this through, did you, Juju?
I didn't make this plan.
Isis will look over to Aeson.
Aeson
We
will-
could also ride a day or so ahead of you. keep you from getting caught up in a dragon fight.
You would not have. You wouldn't be able to take a caravan, any of the pieces with you. The caravan connects together, unless you took Grant by himself with you. His big portion of the caravan. Once we get them latched together, they're kind of part of the group, to say the least.
Ace is gonna like scratch his head and just like sigh and be like, "This is so complicated."
I'll just kind of glance around. Last time we fought one, there was a good risk of people who aren't involved in this fight getting hurt. And I just
Last
don't
time we
wanna...
fought one, we also had our friendly Sunny Day to Blue to help finish it off.
True.
So our options may be we may want to either stick with the big group or consider taking somebody with us. Because I can't always catch the both of you out of the air.
Hopefully for this one you won't have to.
I wonder if I could use my ice abilities to like make a ramp or something. Or ice wings. Do ice wings float? Wait.
They're wings, so I don't see why you can't at least glide on them.
Right. It does, however, tap into flight magic, which is another thing we have yet to do.
Okay. So that means I need like an air fairy.
Probably, yeah. That's probably your best bet. Because then you can start combining the elements.
And Juju kind of like eyeballs all of you. And I'm gonna roll real quick. He kind of like looks at Isis's face for any tell signs of what is happening, or what
She would
y'all are
look at
talking
him.
about.
She would wait. She'd be like,
He kind of nod real slow. Fairy magic can be very fickle.
It happened last time I was trying to use the ice magic against like this thing in like the dwarven place, and it hit him solid. But I realized that I need a lot more practice. Like it was like level 1. He just kind of brushed it off, but that's okay.
Last time.
Yeah.
Are you learning magic, Asen?
Obviously.
Good luck. It's elemental magic is a hard road to travel. And he'd open his hand and show like, you know, an orb that turns from like molten fire to ice real fast and then shatters into like the wind. He's an elemental, so.
yeah.
And we like turn around because like he's still sitting down. I want to learn that.
Isis would nudge you and be like, practice, but one day you will get there.
Juju, how long did it take for you to learn that?
If you were to keep watching, though, you'd see that it hurts to do it. There's not a lot to draw from, and I guess Juju could explain. He kind of looks and goes, "It is part of my nature, but it took me a long time to learn. But now there's not a lot of magic to draw from anymore. I can't do much more than practically show little magic tricks to kids. Using it in a fight is a great undertaking of strength."
So that means that I'm actually ready to use the magic, but because there's so little magic around, we're having difficulty. Okay. So it's not. That makes more sense.
He'd put his hand on your shoulder and say, "It's a very taxing on the body. If anybody could do it, it would be somebody strong like yourself."
I appreciate the words of encouragement. I will add that to the rules.
Number
Only
5?
the strong, exactly. Only the strong can do magic.
Then he'd look back at everybody and kind of shrug, like, "I hope that helps." In a way, you know what I mean? Like, try to like, sure.
I mean, Isis would reinforce it. She'd be like, "How do you think Mayrin and I got to where we are? Lots of strength training."
Can I look at his muscles? Okay.
I would say have a great night, good sleep. I'm gonna have everybody push off for the night, and if you do want to travel up ahead of us, I feel daybreak might be a time to do that. But for the night, the caravan will travel together. And with that, Juju kind of stands up, and as he lifts his arms and kind of like does that, you feel the the caravan starts to shift and change, and you see everybody kind of pulling all the stuff, like all the breakers up and the wooden blocks and stuff to let the wheels move. The groaning of it all. And you all are welcome to go back to wherever you want to go for the night within the caravan.
I feel like we should probably get a good night's rest because in my mind, Isis would feel like we should probably ride ahead of everyone. That would be what her suggestion is. It's just so we don't cause a lot of casualties within the caravan because this is about to get crazy, I think.
And then Ace will stand and be like, "Well, I mean that, and I mean everybody knows dragons don't fly at night, so just like,
Is that true?
sounds good." You know, like walk off.
Such words of wisdom from my master.
All I'm saying is I've never seen Cinderlace fly at night.
Never seen him fly ever.
I was gonna ask, Jason, have you ever seen Cinderlace fly?
No, but I've definitely never seen him fly at night.
Valid.
So I
Now
guess
that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I've ever seen one of your dragons fly at night.
Gonna die.
Huh. And like she like walks away to her stuff and just this weird confusion thing of these dragons don't fly at night.
do they have like astigmatisms or something? Like they can't see at night when they fly?
Maybe they're afraid of Asen.
Why only at night though?
What's sad is I'm imagining this dragon that has like the glasses that are on the rope and they like snap together as you put them on. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, it's nighttime.
Put on my nighttime flying glasses.
Yep.
I've been saying, Ace is like, I've never seen a dragon fly at night. Just
Cool. So maybe we should try to fight it at night then by that logic so it won't take to the air.
I mean,
it's a little cowardly, you know.
if they don't fly at night.
Most birds don't fly at night.
I think you're onto something, Mayrin. That makes sense.
I bet we're having a whole conversation. It's like Asen said something profound, and everybody's like, "Oh,
Wait a minute.
And see, all of you just thought he was an idiot, right? Genius. Wasted on all of you.
I'm not stopping this conversation.
You know, and Soul will just pull out a notebook. Guess I'm writing that one down.
That's right. Write that under rule number 5.
Dragons don't fly at night.
Rule number 5, dragons don't fly at night.
Hey.
So if that's the case, is there a nesting ground nearby?
That's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, we should attack them at night then, maybe. That seems like...
I never looked that far.
Based on
I
how
can make
Morstringer was
rules out
talking, they might nest near Underwing for the entertainment of the pits.
That's a lot of dragons. We need to find one that lives kind of off by itself. That's not green.
Yeah. Would anybody around here be, like, privy to that information? Like, where the dragons stay?
I mean, it's not too big of a secret. A lot of them do live in like around Underwing. As far as like where they nest, it's kind of wherever they land. It's like where does Pride of Lions live type of thing.
Oh,
It's kind of like wherever the hell they want at the time.
Okay.
But so it's more or less you might have to ask like a local village, hey, where's the current dragon in this area like staying? Everybody tithes to different dragons. Everybody brings tithings to dragons to fly back to Underwing. So it's just a matter of like there has to be somewhere close by, considering the marketplace is one of the places that they bring tithings to. So that makes sense what you're asking. It's just a matter of finding a local in a village. So the closest village is down the foothills, about a day's travel from here.
Then I say let's aim for that. Like, we stop and ask if anybody knows where their local dragon is. And
it's 11 at night. Do you know where your local dragon is?
yes.
Gather what we need from the caravan.
The streetlights have went off. Where is your dragon?
Right, the streetlights are on. Do you know where your dragon is tonight? They're not flying home. It's nighttime. The streetlights go on, all these dragons fall out of the sky.
Just boom, boom, boom.
This is not canon. I'm just letting you know.
It is now.
No.
I'm going to say it is now.
No, it's not. I'm saying it out loud on video. This is not canon. And birds don't fly at night, but they can still fly. Just so you know.
I feel like we have precedent, right? Just
precedent.
Just because the dragons can fly at night doesn't mean they do.
Right.
I'm just saying. It's the same. It's the same sentence backwards. Just because birds aren't flying around at night doesn't mean they can't fly at night. And there are plenty of birds out at nighttime.
Not dragons, though.
I'm so tired of this.
I've never seen a dragon at night.
I have.
I've never seen a dragon at night either.
Yeah. I like our plan. I think it's pretty solid.
All right. Good.
I mean, if you're going to go cow tipping, you wait till they're asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Now, was that me, the player, or was that me, the character?
Yes.
Both.
Mayren's done some cow tipping. I guarantee it.
In the last week, yeah.
Folks. I'm so glad you've tuned into our show. I really value all of you as viewers. I want you to know. Anyway.
We're so grateful you're here for our terrible jokes.
I love you guys.
All
All
right.
right.
Jokes are great.
All right. It's night. Everybody's gone back to the caravan or gone cow tipping. And I'm going to let y'all have a long rest. Okay?
Before we go to sleep, I'd just like to do one thing.
Yes, that's what I was about to ask.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. Didn't mean to jump ahead.
Nope, you're good. What would you like to do?
I'd like to just approach Isis. So, when we left the ashen remains of what was once my home, that night, I had a bit of a dream. You're tied to death and all of that, right?
Yes. Yes, unfortunately so.
Something was calling me to fill the graves with dragons before I meet my grave. It was in the waters of my home.
Hmm.
Definitely wasn't my mother, but it tried to act like it was. And I
I,
may have promised to fill the graves.
well, Isis would think a minute.
Um, Isis, you also, if you remember, were approached by one of the smaller Sketa.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Because I was like, she was going to piece those two and two together and be like, I wonder if she would think about the anglerfish specifically from the hills and say, I've seen them here. Well, I've heard of them being here too. Um, how they got here. It was an ordeal for me to even get here, let alone them. So something must be something must be amiss. But it kind of coincides with our goals. So I guess we just keep pushing forward and I'll keep my eyes open.
I just figured it's best to ask about it, you know? Especially since when I woke up, and I'll just kind of pull the robe to the side and show it like a divot in the chest that's in the shape of a tooth. I woke up in pain, feeling like I'd been bitten in half.
Isis, give me a knowledge roll,
So good at those.
just to see if you remember something.
I'm gonna burn a hope to add an experience just to be sure. Because this feels important. Okay, so that's a 16 on hope.
Very cool. So there are many aspects of death
Mhm.
that ran around. Some people would call them familiars, some people call them aspects, some people call them shadows of death. It just depends on which folklore tradition you're looking into. Isis, you come from one of the most prodigious clans or aspects. The Briarpaws are all Huldra and they're these Hellcats that worked that were like the foot soldiers of death, and there are those that ferry the souls back and forth across the river, or mostly just down the river, or help them find their way. But there's also, and maybe this is one that you are not as familiar with personally, because she always kind of was on her own. But there's the oldest of all the aspects of death, the more wrathful aspect of death. This is the death that would show up to clean up or fix things when they are tampered with incorrectly. Say a necromancer became a little bit too ambitious and pulled too many souls back from death's realm. This is the lady that would show up and make sure that they were held accountable for all of their takings from their realm. And she
Mm-hmm.
is a monster, but known as a woman that is very matronly when she speaks kindly. But she would always leave a mark very similar to what you saw on Soul on her own followers, or those that she has deemed as hers. which means in some way, shape, or form, somewhere along the line, Soul has either made a deal or has been offered a pact and made a pact with her, which normally have some kind of repercussions to them.
Yep.
Right.
Sticky.
She would kind of examine the mark then and go, "This happened while you were asleep when you
Right
made the
before-
deal?"
The day before we fought Richtermere.
Something. She usually leaves this mark on people that she has made some kind of deal with or a bargain. So she wouldn't want to scare Soul, but she would say something might happen because of this. Something bad. I don't know what it would be. She's very crafty.
So long as we reach our goal. And that fire-breathing mountain range crumbles to dust. Before it happens, I think I can accept that.
She would kind of nod and say, "I think we're all kind of in this place now where we're making sacrifices." So she would understand, but out of concern for a traveling companion, and now she would consider a friend, be like, "Please though, take care of yourself and I'll help you keep an eye out for this. You make these deals and they say one thing, but they can always switch the wording around on you at the last minute." So
Oh,
That's why you should always get it in writing.
good to know, Mayrin. I'll keep that in mind, and don't worry, I'm gonna take care of myself. But until we get done with this, someone's gotta keep you chuckleheads out of line of fire.
yeah.
Who was on the dragon as it died in the air?
I would have been fine, I think. I've never fallen that far and not landed in water.
No water beneath you. But on the upside, she's just kind of like from where she was at. We know you can't die until you fill the graves with more dragons.
Let's hope. Let's hope that's how it is.
And then, obviously I'm Asen, so
I'd like to use this as a way to use Soldier's Bond with Isis, giving us both 3 hope.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Asen, while you're in this caravan with them sitting, this room, where's your axe?
my axe is never far from me. It's always either on my back or within arm's reach.
Uh-huh. So where is it?
It's probably down. It's probably up by my side. Like,
Okay.
I imagine that we're sitting, and he's got his axe right next to him.
You all are talking this through about Soul, and then you hear a light like tapping, and if you look down, there's like one of those small sketa sitting there like waxing the side of this axe. And it just looks like a deer caught in the headlights when you all look over at it. It shakes a little bit, starts to back up slowly with like the little squeegee sponge it has.
He's gonna definitely look at it and be like, and just give it a nod. Just pretend like this always happens. Like, I've gained my first follower. Like, nobody look.
It like kind of twitches a little bit. This is a small one, like almost the size of a fairy, very small. Like it just stopped being a rat type of thing. and it's like holding the little. It's like a squeegee, like a little like squirt bottle in the wax, and it. The chat told me I'm supposed to do this for you.
It's a good man.
And he like
Yeah.
he looks. Anytime you get loud, he shakes, like kind of like you can see he's like in flight mode. Like, oh my god, I gotta run.
He's like,
You see Mayrin reach up and set her hand on Audrey, and just no.
His head like twitches. It like looks sideways. My name is Five. He just goes back to.
you can see like Ace's chest pump out, and be like, yes, that's you.
Ace. Ace, and this was meant to be. Rule number 5 and 5.
It's like fate has destined me to do great things, obviously, but feels even more now.
It
Greater.
like he like stops for a second and goes, 2 eyes. I have 2 eyes. Same in my name. And he goes back to.
Oh. Very cute.
Yep.
Mayrin is nodding and she points at the plant. Stay out of Vine's reach.
Just
Ace will look over and be like, this is my very first follower. Welcome, Five.
waves.
Keep to the shadows. You will be safe in my presence.
Yep. That's where I live.
In the shadows or his presence?
Oh, I feel like.
Yes.
I mean, his presence does make a big shadow.
It sure does.
I have arrived. It's just gonna have that full vibe. Like, oh man, you guys thought Asa was bad before. Now I got a follower. Oh, that cleans my place. Yes.
It finishes
Can't
up.
wait to see what happens when you fight that dragon, Ace, and this is about to be amazing.
It finishes up a little bit, and then like takes a couple steps over toward where the shadows like gather in the caravan, and you swear it's just gone. It's somewhere in like the corners behind like things that are going on, but like
Asa would pick up the axe and inspect it, flip it over. Okay.
Did you do a good job?
And put it back down. He does good work. I mean, he's number 5, so it would make sense that he does good work, but very impressive. His number is well deserved.
This is such a good day for all of us, really. We're heading in the right direction.
So we all getting some sleep.
Yes.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Isis, you're the only one who has to roll. You want to give me a D20 for dreams?
Okay.
Okay. Now, for those that are just watching for fun and have never been part of our group before, the only reason I have Isis rolling is because I'm very curious to see what she rolls. It's kind of fun. She plays a lot of characters that don't roll well for dreams ever. It's kind of a joke. But here we are. Isis, what'd you get?
We've broken the curse, I believe. It is a 16.
This is the second good roll for Isis. Isis
Yeah.
is not your other characters. Isis is down to just go to sleep. Yeah. No, I would say that it's a clear night. You guys just fall out, go to sleep. Y'all are sleeping in the same place?
I think Soul would go to the roof and sleep up there.
All right. Anyone?
Just so while bending the shield back into place, it doesn't wake anybody up.
Yeah. Everybody else just sleeping in this caravan?
Don't mess up Mayron's plants up there.
He
I
finds
was gonna
that.
eat this.
Aw,
That's
Just
very
instead of
likely.
you've been chosen.
All
I
right.
get my place cleaned and chosen.
And no, Mayron does not sleep in the caravan with them because she claims Asen snores.
Okay. So this is the second. So this caravan is connected to it. So it's side by side with Blue's caravan, and then behind you all, almost like as if these two ones, the caboose is Grant's entire big, like, trolley or whatever you'd call it at this point. This giant thing that it's the size of both, like, you and Tablu's caravan cars side by side are the same size as Grant's entire, like, where all the Minotaurs are. This giant metal, just just this mess of things. It looks like it has no rhyme or reason to what's on the outside of it. It's just like materials and the folded up walker thing that you guys stole from or apprehended from the dwarves, and like all of the different like mining equipment and stuff. It almost kind of looks like a war cart in the back of this giant caravan. And there's like I said, in between the caravans are like the oxen pulling this one along, and there's one oxen all the way in the back pushing it along. And it's just other than that, like people walking alongside, and up ahead of you guys is the other caravans that are pushed. Hey Tibbers. And so, all right. Just for fun, Mayron, which caravan are you sleeping in?
I feel like we all know she's going to Grant's.
Okay. Very cool. Just, making sure I didn't say for later when I start talking about where everybody is. Anyway, well, we're all asleep. I guess. Give me an instinct roll, everybody, except for Soul. Yours is on advantage.
Alrighty.
Man, I feel like it's been such a long time. I had to remind myself where instinct roll. I was like, wait, instinct, right. 17 on hope.
On hope. Very nice.
First roll for me, it's a crit. On 11s.
Critter day.
That'll do.
That'll do, frog. That'll do.
Isis got a 22 on hope.
It's a good day for rolls.
That's good.
I have 14 on
Hour
hope.
rolls.
All right. Good rolls. Good rolls.
Solid rolls.
I'm going to say... So...
No, sorry. 15 on hope.
All right. The caravan stretches across the open road like a quiet serpent. The wagons and the travelers, the heavy wheels groaning as the groaning of the wheels is as low as the trees that are pushing through the wind. I said it was a beautiful night out. The dark morning air, still choked a little bit by the sulfur, giving off just that gleam of gold and orange as the sun begins to just peek over the mountain ranges and push its way through this darkened sky. I would say that Soul hears it far before he sees anything, but he's the first one to almost feel it in his gut. I don't know if anybody's ever had that feeling of like my phone rang, but like then the phone rings afterwards, or like you wake up
Mhm.
right before the alarm and you look over and the alarm goes off. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like your body is like pushing you. And on a crit, I would say Soul's body jolts him up. And he kind of gets up ungroggedly. And there's something just screaming about where the key is.
Think hearing that, Soul is going to just jump to the stairs and in
Mm-hmm.
and just shout, "Everybody up now!" And then start hopping off towards Jom's
Do you check?
cart.
Do you check the key?
Yeah.
So where was the key exactly?
It was wrapped in a bedroll
Mm-hmm.
in a corner, stuffed down in like the tightest seam I could find in the cart.
Right. So you get there. It's wrapped up. It it seems like it is still there. There's nothing ajar about it. Some of the wrapping looks like it looks the same. You're staring at it, and it kind of, while you're sitting there looking at it, almost feels like there's a warm, like, almost like it beats. You've not seen it do that before. Do you put it back, or what are we doing from here?
Think I'm gonna continue my efforts to wake the people that are in our caravan up, in our part of it up, and if it's pulsing, Soul's unwrapping to try and get to the actual like case that we had put on it by Blue.
The casing doesn't seem worn or weathered, but there is something different about it. Almost like it is it's less than it used to be. And as you are turning to Isis to get her up as unviolently as possible, because I imagine Isis being what, I don't know why I imagine Isis being one of those like one of those people to take a swing at you if you try and wake him up. Like I
I
don't,
could see.
yeah, just giant. I just, from what I know about cats in general, like if you were to like shake one, I feel like
Yeah, Soul doesn't need a Nick Fury moment where it's just cat claw over eye.
right. Oh my gosh, for real. But Isis, you and him together, you both having rolled the highest. The sound. This sound that you awake to. The beating. You definitely hear it before it strikes what it is. But Asen, you sit up understanding what it is. It's the rhythmic beating of massive wings. Like thunder tearing apart clouds to get to where you're at. The oxen whine. You can hear horses begin to rear. The cart comes to a screaming, very abrupt halt. This is not just one, but many dragons, nightmares with scales, descending from the clouds towards your cart. The first one hits the ground, and the whole cart shakes, and one of the carts even twists off and go to the side. Not yours. You guys are connected to Grant's cart, which is currently the anchor of this whole thing, and probably the heaviest fucking thing in this area, other than maybe these dragons. You hear people begin to yell and push out, and then Juju's voice over top of everything, yelling for as many people as they can to get into the woods and take cover. The three of you can go ahead and roll me a what is it? An agility roll, please.
All right.
And Mayrin, you can go ahead and roll me not instinct. What's the other one?
Finesse.
Thank you, finesse.
No.
Give me a finesse roll.
Can I use like Ridgeborn as advantage?
I think that I don't think Ridgeborn would give you an advantage in this case, because this is a cart getting slammed into by a dragon. Well, we'll describe what it is in just a moment, but Ridgeborn isn't going to help.
That's another crit.
That's good.
What in the world?
Double nines, all right?
Jesus.
So Asen got a 10 on fear.
Beautiful.
Oh god.
4.
18 on hope for Isis.
Okay. Okay. So Soul and Isis, you both are looking at Asen, and Asen is sitting up with his back to the wall, and you see 2 claws push into the caravan and rip the side of the caravan open like a tin can. And as they do, Asen is ripped out of the caravan with this wall as it is thrown to the side. Asen, you take... I'm sorry. I forgot to roll dice. Asen, you take 43 damage as you are thrown into the woods, about 50 or so odd feet away.
Okay, so I'm going to use Scramble.
Yep. Scramble makes it so you don't take the damage, right, for this one?
Correct.
Because
Yeah.
you avoid. Does it say avoid, or does it say...
When an enemy melee would deal damage to you, you can avoid damage entirely and safely move out of melee range of the enemy.
Okay, beautiful. This is even better. So, as he rips apart this thing, Asen is sitting against the wall. He grabs his axe and pushes himself forward, and you watch as the back of the caravan wall slides past him, and he lands superhero style in front of you two as the rest of this caravan is thrown 50 or so feet into the forest, and you see a tree fall over because of how hard he just slung this thing. You just see a red dragon staring into this caravan, and you hear, "Yeah, they're right here." And you can hear other voices above, "Well, kill everybody then." And you can hear onset of other wings and things, and the grating of other pieces of this caravan getting torn apart like vultures attacking a carcass. Mayrin, let's talk about you. What did you roll?
I rolled a crit on 5s.
Very good.
Nice.
Whether you and Grant were asleep at night, this is what you all have figured out what's going on. And Grant kind of looks at you and says, my cart's not really made for fighting, but, all of us are. And he turns and opens like this like large sliding door, and there's just, 30 or so Minotaur in the back, and he looks at everybody and goes, "Let's blow some stuff up!" And you realize that they all start to scramble to figure out what's going on. But that leaves you two You have initiative, basically. What would you like to do in the moment you have? I would say Audrey's with you.
Well, I guess I'm putting my little live backpack back on. Uh, I need this thing to stay alive, so it needs to be with me.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm gonna go and head towards their caravan, you know?
As you're about to head towards their caravan, Soul, what was your Minotaur's friend's name?
Maurice.
Maurice, right? I did name him Maurice. Maurice
Yeah.
would
His
look,
name is Mumu.
Mumu. Mumu would look at you, and he would stop you. It's you are running towards Dragonfire with a plant on your back. Would you trust your plant to me, and I will run away into the woods with it?
I always wondered if the Audreys could eat Dragonfire, but this seems like a better idea. Since it's the only one I have. So she's going to take it off and hand it to him.
And he holds it, and against his chest it is much smaller than against your back. As Maurice is the largest of the Minotaur here, even a little bit larger than Grant. And he kind of looks at it, and he says, "What is the name?"
Audrey,
He smiles.
4.0.
4.0 will be safe. And he puts a little thing around the side of it so he can hold the pot easier. And he kicks open the back, and you see the whole thing. And you can see streams of other people running into the woods, and you watch as one of the dragons dip down. This is a blue one, and it just pulls it rakes through its claws through the ground, and the ground pulls up as if it's being cut through with a large construction machine. And it makes a wave of dirt and mud. And Maurice turns, and there's a little bit of excitement in his eyes. This is the first time you've seen Maurice look excited about something. And he goes, and he looks at Grant and goes, I will see you on the other side, friend. Me and 4.0 will live. And he kind of makes this a mooing sound that the steer make before they start to move. And he starts running like a football player, and puts his head down and cleaves through some of the people even just to get to the line. But he's fast. It's a lot faster than you imagined. When this Minotaur starts to run, you're like, oh wow, this is a lot. Then Grant turns, and there's a handful of Minotaur standing with large bags of explosives on them. It's kind of think of in Vietnam when they had the guys with flamethrowers going into the fight, where if they get hit, they're all blowing up. This is bad.
Oh god.
Well, let's at least aim them towards the dragons.
So you step out into the night or the morning air. You see the red dragon's body twisted up around the foothill, looking into the caravan. Aeson with his back to him. Both of these two, Isis and Soul, being looked directly at as the dragon screams this. I found them. Or yeah, they're here. You can hear the blue dragon, as it circles overhead, say, great, then let's kill them all. And at the tip of the caravan, there is a large flash, and you would see just ice and it almost looks like frost being shattered out as Juju stands in front of a large silver dragon. You're still your turn. It's still like you're just catching up to where Aeson and Isis and them are, Mayrin. So I'm gonna give you one more beat. It's just about what do you do in this moment, and then we're gonna go to you guys.
Marin's gonna shout at it. Hey, strawberry shortcake! I need to find out if your blood is jam or tart.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good answer. Good answer.
Good question. Sweet or sour? Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Aeson, Isis, and Soul, as this thing says that, Aeson, I'm going to say that if you'd like to turn around, you may. But you hear Mayrin scream this. And this dragon's head rears back slightly. Its whole body, or its a whole front of its body still in your fucking face right here. Like you guys, 5 feet away. Let's be real. As its finger is like one hand is still inside the caravan. It rears back, giving you a minor opening to get out if you need to for this second. And it just bellows, "My blood is made of fire." And it turns and blows its breath weapon into Mayrin. I need an agility roll from you, Mayrin.
Oh my god! Oh,
It's lucky sevens.
Awesome. Okay, there are a couple things that go along with this. So you will take half the damage. Which is 50.
No, let's do it.
So half of it will be 24 damage. And you will need to mark a stress. And as you jump out of the way of this giant, it's like a beam of fire just rips through the ground, and the spot you are standing in is just a trench of boiled molten mud. You three, though, what are you doing?
So definitely after seeing that, Ace will be like, and he's gonna like go to like try and cleave off like a claw from the dragon to make sure that they get enough dragon's blood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're staying in the caravan then?
Well, I hope to kind of get it while we're moving, because you want a little space.
So you're gonna cleave and then move out of the caravan. I just want to make sure I get it right. That's all, because I want to do the whole scene as we go.
Yes, I'm thinking it's gonna like cleave it, and like I feel like there's like a snatching involved in that, and, like as he's like rolling out of the caravan.
I love it. Okay. So Aeson's gonna cleave as he goes. Soul, you and Isis, what are you two doing?
I feel like in this moment, Isis's first thought would be to look to Soul. You'd still have the key in your hands. You're like, stuff that in whatever pocket you've got. We need to move these people away from the caravan. We gotta go.
Gotta go right now.
The first thought that I had was Soul was going to stuff the key in his mouth and grab his weapons.
Let's go!
I was like, okay.
Just under the tongue, grab the weapons, and smack this thing on the way through, trying to break a tooth loose.
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're
hitting and moving.
And I'm going to go unstoppable, because I feel like I'm going to need the resistance.
Alright. Isis?
Yeah, she would follow him out, and so is it his claw that's only visible now inside of
No, you can still see his whole like neck. He's like literally turned. He just happens to give you a hole to run through between his claw and, like, you know what I mean, under his arm as he's standing there looking at me, like, just blowing this huge breath weapon into Mayrin's direction.
Because then, as we're making our way out, she would like ignite her like fiery claws and try to like slash at his neck as we run.
Very cool.
Out.
You all may roll. I just need to know.
Okay.
Yeah?
Does my Ridgeborn count now? Crazy terrain. We're like almost got put out of a train. I mean, like.
What does Ridgeborn do?
So I have advantage on rolls, right? Navigating harsh environments.
Oh, yeah, this is a harsh environment. Go ahead.
I know, right?
I'll give you that. I'll give you that one. This one's a harsh environment.
You're not gonna believe me, but it's another 12. It's another crit with like 2 2s on this one.
I got 2 8s. I rolled a crit.
I got a 24 on fear.
Okay, very good. So that's awesome. All 3 of you hit, and it will become my turn afterwards. But please, damage.
Add up my damage. So it's automatically max damage, and then we roll again, right?
Yes.
So
because you got a crit, I will say you have to do at least 26 damage before you're able to hurt a dragon.
Okay.
Okay.
That would bring it to...
Also, is it magical or physical?
Magical. Mine.
88 physical.
I'm just going to assume mine is also physical. So I got 27 damage.
Good job. That's perfect. That's exactly what you want to get an HP off of them.
56. Do I need to do anything with mine since it's magical?
No.
Okay.
I just need to know as I'm marking it down because it depends on the reaction back to things. That's all.
So 56 fire
56
damage.
Fire. This is to the red dragon. So Asen got 1 HP. 56 physical, magical, and then Soul. How much damage did you do?
88 physical.
Okay, you do 2 HP to him. Very good.
On a crit, I start with a base of 50.
That's crazy.
Hey man, you still need 30 more before you get a 2 HP off on him. So
yeah.
Okay. A lot of things happen all at once. Let's start with the scene as it goes. Let's see here. Desperate. Yeah. So because you hit him with a magical attack, it causes Ashen Cloud to take Fiery Cloud to take in effect, which means that everybody will have disadvantage to hit him from now on. And then each of you both hit him and did an HP, so that'll add 1 to my fear dice. 6. But you guys did do 4 HP to him. And I need... So normally I would roll this, but I think y'all are rolling really, really well today. So, Asen and Isis, both of you roll me a d20, please. And tell me if you get an 18, 19, or 20.
Right, d20. I got a 6.
Okay.
I got an 18.
Okay, so Isis, as you are ripping through him, his thing, you would see a rush of blood, like spurt out of him. Think like Kill Bill style.
Crap. She would kind of immediately like, do I have anything to catch this with?
It's
'Cause
not
that's
so. Maybe it's not that you have something to catch it with, but what you do understand is that red dragons bleed.
oh well, that's good at least.
So if there's
Good knowledge.
if there's something left over at the end of all this, there's at least blood there.
Okay.
Do we know what it tastes like?
On it, yeah. Is it spicy?
Oh, are you tasting it?
Sure.
Or are you licking your fur as you go?
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, we have to know.
It's up to you. Dealer's choice. What is it? What canonly? What does red dragon blood taste like, Isis? You're spotlighted.
She would lick her fur, look up, be like, guys, it's actually more of like an umami kind of flavor, really.
See, in my head, it went to Texas Pete.
Ew.
All right, red dragon blood is umami.
Yeah.
This is now going to be a thing canonly. I'm going to let y'all figure out what each dragon blood tastes like. All right, here we
So
go.
do we have time for that?
Maybe the green dragon was spicy.
Maybe.
I mean,
It
I
was
did
acid.
lick its brain.
So you cleave through it. You, Asen, as you go, you slam yourself down, and one of its claws kind of cracks a little bit as you go. You got basically like you almost like gave it like you like trimmed its nail almost type of thing. And then
Asen's a dragon groomer.
Soul's lacerated a piece of it as some of the scales kind of like pull outwards. You watch as the dragon's scales kind of like go up, almost like goosebumps on its arm, and all of this fire begins to rip out of the side of it, almost like it's letting out excess fume and stuff. I will need the three of you to. Oh no, I rolled a hit with this one. Very good. All right. This one will be for Asen. So 29. Roll a natural 19. Soul. That's a 27.
Yeah, that hits.
And Isis. It's an 11. I rolled
Great.
a nat 1.
Beautiful. In the
I don't-
moment, she would grab all the fire that he pulls off of his body and be like, oh, you think you have mastery over this? That's cute.
All the fire rips out, and Isis just grabs it and is like, no.
No, we're not doing that today.
All right.
I don't think you can fail to hit Soul.
I can on a nat 1.
Right, but not on like a 19. No.
Jesus.
Oh, there's one. Good.
I'm sorry, 29.
I gave all my dice back to her.
You gave all my dice back to me.
I gave all my dice back to you. All right.
I think that's not, yeah, that doesn't sound like what he said at all.
So, 54 damage to Asen.
What?
6, 12. So, 42 damage to Soul. And
Is this physical or magical?
This is magical.
Okay. I start taking damage now.
One.
Oh no.
Oh god, this is not good.
That is crazy.
Oh god.
The spotlight happens on my dragon, which means that because the red dragon is relentless 4, it'll go 4 times now. That was 1. It'll like push itself forward to snap at Mayrin after she dodges. There are 2 things that need to happen here. First, I have to roll a hit, and then if I hit you, I need you to roll a strength roll. So we'll go to that first. I rolled a natural 16, which makes it a 20 for its snap. Because it only has a +4 for this one. Each of my attacks have a different plus thing to a hit.
Oh no, only a +4.
It hits.
Okay, I need a strength roll from you, and you're looking for a 22.
Hope I get a crit again.
I mean, it's been a good day for that. So
It has.
maybe.
I did get a crit again. I got 2 6s.
So then, in this case, what would happen is I need you to describe you somehow not getting swallowed by the dragon. As its head because it does hit you, so you're gonna take damage. So it bites you, but the question is, how do you not get stuck? Like, how are you not pinned? Just cinematically.
How big is its head?
Larger than Grant's caravan.
Ooh. So I imagine there's probably like this weird little ridge thing in its nose between the nostrils.
Yeah.
That she just kind of fits between.
I love it. Okay. And you
And she's just like hanging on like
and because you pass the strength roll, you take 10 damage from the grazing of the teeth. Okay. That's 2. Its body will shift and it's going to dig. You're now attached to its nose, though, you said. All right. So its body swivels, and you guys see Mayrin on the nose of this dragon, like as it turns to look at you all, and you can see its eyes drain for a second, and it breathes in. It's gonna take an extra turn to do its breath weapon again, because I failed the roll. So because I have to roll a charge roll, and then so that's 3, and then it's gonna take a massive swipe. But with it, it's going to take a big chunk out of the Ural's caravan and bring it with you. So I will need you all to roll an agility roll. You're looking for a 12. And to dodge debris. And I will roll to hit each of you with its hand. Asen, I missed. Asen, what is your evasion, just first of all?
But currently it's 16.
Okay, good. I missed you.
Okay. But I can add some stuff.
I know. But I wanted to make sure before I started having you add shit, I was like, I rolled a 15 to hit you because soul, a 13 to hit, and Isis, I missed you again.
Yeah.
18 on agility. On hope.
Yeah, did you all make your agility rolls?
18
hope. Yeah.
Okay, everybody got hope?
Yeah.
No, I got 4.
Oh, you got fear? Okay, just adding to my fear list. Beautiful. So it slams its hand through your caravan, kind of like shaken that it didn't catch Mayrin in all this, and it's gonna turn, its whole body twists, debris goes flying, you all kind of like maneuver around the debris a little bit, and you just jump in between its fingers. I would say Soul jumps over its whole hand. Isis just kind of like moves back and watches the whole claw go past her face. And Asen being something people forget, Asen is an agility fighter. So I'm gonna say Asen does a full on like roundhouse like back tuck through, like spin through its hand, and like has this giant axe.
Right.
Yeah, the full I'm doing like the full routine off of a fucking like Olympic like mat, just spinning through them. And that's dragon number 1's turn. Let's get to the blue dragon, Relentless 3, and the blue dragon barrels over Grant's thing, looks down and goes, "Oh, it's all of them," and then it'll blow its ice breath towards you guys. Not caring if it hits the red dragon at all. So I will need all 4 of you to make a presence roll, please.
Present.
Yep.
Oh, I'm so good at those.
All right. Presents.
Eesh.
Ooh.
Ugh. That's
Yeah,
bad.
that tracks. That's a 7 on hope.
Mine's a 10 on hope.
I've got a 3 on fear.
God. Yeah.
I'm going to spend a hope, but mine is also on fear. To add 2, and that makes it a 20 on fear.
Okay. It doesn't happen to Mayrin. The 3 of you will take 25 damage.
Jesus.
This is not magical, actually. It's
Oh, damn.
just 25 frost damage. but it's not considered magical for whatever reason. It I have it written in my dragon log which one's the fire is magical, the frost isn't. I put the frost as like piercing and whatever. So more like blunt force type of stuff than the fire doing fire damage. That being said, the three of you are frozen in place, so I will have advantage to hit you. And
Cool.
you cannot move anymore on your turn unless you spend a hope to do so.
Okay.
It will also add 2 to each of your stresses. Except for Mayra.
Of note, I do not take any damage from that because it's less than 38.
Very cool.
So what you're telling us is that we're not actually supposed to survive this fight. Okay, check.
You could.
We do have the kamikaze minotaurs.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, they haven't started blowing stuff up yet.
I was like, I'm getting there. This one will. So then the blue dragon will look at the red dragon and say, "There's something on your face," and go to slam its claw down into the red dragon's face at Mayrin. I believe I hit you, Mayrin, on an 18, but
Very much like siblings.
I also hit the red dragon, so I'm going to do damage to both of you. I rolled really low. 10. So 30 damage to each of you, which is so another HP on my red dragon.
I have to mark a fucking armor slot for that. Whew.
And it has tear and run. It has render. So when you mark an armor slot, you'll have to mark an extra one as well.
That's okay.
And then this one will slam itself into the ground next to the three of you. So you are being pushed back towards Grant's caravan if you are to run.
Okay.
You feel the whole caravan groan and shake, and you can hear up front Juju and somebody else fighting whatever other dragon is up front. Because there are 3.
Okay.
There is a large explosion as well, and the rest of Ural's caravan is torn open, and you would see 3 Minotaur standing there kind of like pulling back, and you see also where Tablu's caravan is, there is a large smoking hole in the side of it, and he is staring at Grant as Grant blows an opening out for you all to run towards the woods.
Oh my god.
In the dust of it all, though, is Grant's silhouette with his hand up going, "It's this way. This is the way out." And Tablu kind of looks over and sees the red dragon with Mayrin on its face, and he just smiles and he yells to you, Mayrin, "That's not your ride."
You know, I thought I needed another pet.
Choices, we all make them. And he would and he's gonna like pick his staff up and start and click it a couple times, and then he says something to Grant that you can't very much make out, but it's something along the lines of, "You owe me a new cart." And he all the plants in the cart grow outwards and make like a tunnel towards the ground, so as there is a path out if you were to try and take it. You can go until somebody rolls fear. Or I interrupt. I have 6 fear.
God.
I think that's how this works. Oh, it does not. You need to roll me a reaction roll because I am going to cast Chain Lightning on these 2 dragons.
You need one for both?
Yes.
Uh,
You have to beat a 14.
the blue dragon failed. The red dragon passed. Nope, other way around. I'm sorry. Red dragon's the one you're attached to. Red dragon fails it. Blue dragon doesn't.
That is...
Okay, but we're also frozen in place, right?
Yeah.
You have to spend a
We
hope
have
to
to
get
spend
away.
a hope.
To get out of it. Or somebody has to spend a hope for you to move you out of it. A hope has to be spent to get you out of the ice, yes.
Check.
Ugh, chain lightning though. Ugh.
Don't worry, it doesn't do a whole lot of damage.
Oh. Well.
And I'm going to spend the rest of my hope to add experiences to it just to make it reach 26.
Okay.
It doesn't do a whole lot of damage, so I just wanted to hit both of them before I made a run.
I feel you.
The one that passed it takes half the damage, so I guess it doesn't take any damage. The red dragon takes 26 damage.
The blue dragon doesn't have a threshold. The blue dragon's
okay.
not as old as the red dragon.
Oh, it's a wee lamb.
It is.
Hmm.
So how much does half? 13?
Yes.
Okay. So the blue dragon takes a point. No, the red dragon is much bigger than the other dragons that are depicted here. Sorry, I tried to say that properly with... It just didn't work out. Okay.
We still need the dragon's blood, though.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
I mean, is Isis covered in enough of it?
No.
No.
You have Audrey lick it out of Isis's fur.
No.
I feel like we need a substantial, bigger amount.
You need like a little bucket. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need enough to like give Audrey a good drink.
Yeah.
Do we have a bucket for this?
I mean, if we did, it was probably in the caravan that just got blown to smithereens.
Probably. Yep.
Oh,
What do you mean?
No, my follower. Yes. Bet.
And 5 bring
I'm
us a
definitely gonna
bucket.
spin the hope. Like, how close are we to the blue dragon?
Yep.
Yup.
Close.
Close enough? Okay. So I'm wondering, like, if I could spin the hope, like, hit the ice, right? Or whatever to like get out of it or something, right? We hit the blue dragon, gather some blood, have the follow like, hey, come with me, gather the blood and run.
Looking around, I would say you don't see your follower anywhere.
He's never seen until I summon him. Those are the rules.
Okay.
Rule number 5.
I'm just going to point out at how scared he was of you guys. I'm going to make you roll to see if he shows up.
Actually, I just need his rag. I don't really need him.
Look, I'm being so real with you right now. If you think this rat is showing up to fight a dragon with you, you are duly mistaken when he was scared to talk to you.
I'm trying to figure out like how are we collecting this blood so we can like get out of here.
I have no idea. I really don't.
Oh god.
I have no. This is not one of the things that I don't have to plan this. This is on you all. If y'all want to roll Isis around in it until she's red, that's fine. But I'm just saying.
Okay, but how cool would that look? Just
Just
Isis the Hellcat painted red.
And covered in dragon's blood, that'd be cool as shit.
I also think you probably need more than just like a drop. You need
Yeah.
You
Like,
need
we need a substantial
yeah.
amount.
Okay, so are we going back with the whole cleave a claw or something off?
If we could ideally, but we need to find something to get. We need to find something to keep it in. We really do need something to.
I mean, if it's a claw, right? Like we have the whole thing. We can drain it as we're running, or as it has blood in there.
If you do
Okay, so
take if you do take a piece like a
an
piece of
appendage.
it, yeah, that seems fine. Sure.
Cool. Bet.
I will say it's very interesting that Aeson is on the quest in his head instead of we need to get away from the 3 dragons that are currently about to kill us all.
Oh god.
Mm,
Trying to like take
I
it
feel you.
right, like
It's good
we're trying
times.
bet.
I think
So, can we do like I don't know. I'm that like. Well, I guess when I break out, I've only got 1 hope left.
only one of us needs to spend the hope for a tag team
Yeah.
attack, right?
yes.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. Tag team to blue, steal a claw, run like hell.
Here's a thought, and I'm just whatever. What I was gonna do on my turn is I was gonna use my hope, to get out of the ice or whatever. But I was gonna flavor it as like Isis heats up really hot to like shatter and like push the like shards back at it, like to like distract it to do the magical damage, while y'all two like run in if you want, like and like combo something to get the appendage, so I can like distract it with that blast.
If you spend your activation getting out of your thing and using some kind of thing to distract it, I will let them attack without disadvantage against the red dragon.
Because that's what I was planning to do. Is I was going to spin the hope to get out of the ice. Then I was going to flavor it as her heating up really hot to then like use my preservation blast spell to like as like a distraction to do damage and whatever.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Bet.
Mayrin,
What do
you're
y'all
still
think
hanging
about
off the dragon.
All right. So we just need to roll to attack.
So
Yeah,
Aeson and Soul, you're gonna do a joint attack,
Yeah.
Yes.
and then
I'm spending my
Mayrin,
hope to get out of it.
Mayrin, what will you be doing?
I decided I was going to throw a ball of ice and rocks in Unleash Chaos down this dragon's throat as it went to do its fire breath.
Okay.
Just because why the hell not?
Yeah.
And that the damage was going to be
Chaotic.
42.
Okay.
Yes. Very chaotic, very icy, very
Did you roll? You rolled on hope.
yes.
All right.
I rolled a 23 plus 5 is 28.
42. Sounds good. Aeson and Soul, what did y'all?
I rolled a crit
Yep.
again.
Oh shit!
Damn.
And I'm using a hope and just since I didn't take damage from the ice and it just applied stress, I'm gonna say that he just hunkered down basically under his shield and pops it up to fling the ice off before hopping straight for this dragon.
All right. I'm gonna assume y'all do the 3 HP worth of damage.
I had 42.
Was that with the crit?
Oh,
That was not
And
with
then
the crit.
okay. Yeah, we probably did 3 HP of damage.
I'm gonna assume y'all do the 3 HP worth of damage. All right.
So like after the ice, like I want Aeson to be like like taking his axe and like chipping off like the right.
Oh my god!
And then like follow like behind Soul or something because like he's kind of like here again agility part. He's like motherfucking just
just I'm picturing Soul is going in for a weakening strike on whatever we're trying to hit, the claw, right? Just to try and like break the bone or something,
Very cool.
so that Asen can come in and chop.
So as you all get it to 10 HP worth of damage, I have to spend 2 fear to interrupt.
I mean, you don't have to.
agree.
It's a trigger. I have to if I have it.
I just need to know, did we get the claw? Can we run now? Oh, fuck.
You definitely got a claw off of it. It's only got 1 HP left.
Oh, we did it, guys.
Okay. So, but like I said, a bunch of stuff happens. I need whoever was within melee range of it, which I believe is all 4 of you right now, to make me a strength roll.
Oh, good.
Because it just, as it takes enough damage, it just slams itself into the ground as hard as possible, releasing all this fire. So think of like this is like a volcano erupting on top of you, as the earthquake and the shit and the sand and the ground shifts and everything. So we're gonna get to all the things that happen all at once upon doing enough damage to this dragon, which I want you to think about though, because this is the smaller version of Cinderlace.
Yes.
Being his child.
21 on hope after using a hope to do not ready to croak for this one.
I got a 22 on hope after using fearless Mark II stress to make it a hope.
Okay.
I also used a hope to channel the fiery fury of the hells, which brought me to a grand total of a 10 on hope.
Okay, Isis will be restrained. Mayrin?
I rolled a whole 16.
Okay. So Soul and Asen, I'm gonna go through all of them at once, just because. I need all of you to also roll me an agility roll.
Okay.
Me included.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all gonna happen at once. It's all gonna happen at once.
Did you just get another crit?
Yes.
It's dumb.
That's 2 11s that time. And I don't know how it keeps happening.
Yes, Jesus.
Good luck. It had to be somebody. It's not me this game.
My dice are blessed after the trip. I don't know.
Okay, what did everybody get on agility?
I got a 19 on hope.
26.
Crit.
26 on hope.
Crit for soul.
I got a 12 on fear.
Okay. Okay. It's the dragon's turn. But so it collapses in. Soul and Asen, you both dodge like the earthquake part of this, where like the ground comes up and like it's pushed and like this body thrashes. You basically dodge its tail, you dodge the wing buffet, all that stuff. So you'll take half damage from the first part, which is 40. So half of it's 20.
Is that physical or magical?
This is physical.
Okay, so cool.
Okay, Asen's definitely not going to survive that. Let me see back.
The other 2 of you would take 40 damage and are restrained.
Jesus Christ.
Asen, are you within? You're within very close range of me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you both.
I'm going to use I am your shield and mark a stress to take the damage for you, and reduce it by my strength as well as my normal stuff.
There you go.
And that'll just be when we see the flailing, just boosting Asen up a little higher to make everything miss him, basically.
Okay.
I'm like imagining like this little frog, like just like pushing like Asen up by his butt, just like then like like Asen like looking down, like.
What I'm picturing is Soul uses the backside of the shield that's not spiked and just kind of catapult launches you a little bit before jumping up behind you.
On my and then the fire erupts out of it. Which is 12. Which is going to be 26 damage worth of fire. Soul, you pass this one, so it'd be 13 damage worth of fire to you, which is magical.
Yes. I do get to roll a d6, and on a 5 or 6, I clear stress.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you also take the fire damage as well?
Yeah.
Okay, but that was. Did I pass it? I had that was the agility roll,
Asen,
right?
you failed the agility roll.
I failed the agility roll?
Yeah, you said you got an 18?
No, I got a 19 on hope.
Do you have a hope to make it 20?
Yeah.
You use it to make it 20, then you pass. And you take 13 fire damage.
Alright, gonna...
Okay.
I rolled a 6, so I clear the stress I just used to do I Am Your Shield.
Very good. Okay.
I literally have like 1 HP.
Oh, no.
You have 1 hit point left.
I'm very sorry. Mayrin, are you still
Lucky
up?
for all of you. No.
Well, let's talk about you then in a second. We're gonna get to you in a moment.
I died before the fire.
Well, we're gonna talk about you in a moment, because a lot of this is whatever. But it has 1 HP left, so instead of being spotlighted, it has something called Desperate Rampage, which I mark all my stress down, making it vulnerable. But it lashes out at the closest person to it, which I believe is Soul.
So a question though, because we just dodged a bunch of attacks, like do they count as attacks?
Yeah, these are all attacks.
Well, okay, I'm asking that just because if I dodge an attack, I get to actually attack them back.
Yeah, attack it back.
Where is...
Okay, Asen, I want you to roll your attack back, and you need to tell me if you get above 25 damage. It's incredibly important to the story.
Okay, so I just need to roll. Do I need to roll to hit, or do I actually hold on? It says.
I don't know what you.
Is it retaliation?
When it says successfully evade attack, you can mark a stress to automatically deal damage to an active weapon. So it's just a damage roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
oh shit!
All right, so this would happen at the same time as Desperate Rampage.
Okay.
Okay, so
do 25 damage.
I got a 37.
Okay, cool. We're about to talk through this whole thing all at once in a second, but I do need to roll my attack against Soul real quick.
Okay.
So I don't know if I can miss you with this attack unless I roll nat 1, and I didn't roll nat 1.
Yeah, I have 9 evasion.
Okay.
Anything will hit me.
And so this is its breath weapon rolling out into you as it dies, basically. And it would be 2 hits of 25 magical damage twice.
Okay. Is it able to be reduced by armor?
No.
No. Okay.
Not anything that you have, because you all haven't made any armor out of that other stuff yet.
That'll mark 4 hit points on me.
Okay.
Jeez.
Actually, hold on. I think my thresholds don't go up from unstoppable. That's just from stalwart. So, yeah. 4 hit points.
Okay.
4.
Okay. Are you down yet? You're good?
I got 3 HP left.
Very good. Asen's still up?
Just got the
Swinging. Isis, you're still up?
With 1.
And then Mayrin, you're going to go down this turn. I just want to make sure, because I have to give you your option of what you do when you die.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so this dragon begins to desperately thrash because it realizes that it's on the last moments of its life. It slams down in the ground. All this ground comes up. The ground shifts, and the earthquake pulls Grant's caravan up, almost like it's going to flop down on top of you all. The fire erupts out of it, pushing steam and making the fog all come through the air. It makes this moment is thick. You can't see each other anymore, except for Soul popping Aeson up just out of range of this caravan slamming down. Aeson, while you're in the air, you realize you have the perfect shot right between its eyes, just where Mayrin was before. Coming straight down onto its nose. You crack the dragon's skull, straight opening its mouth sideways. A fire erupts around you as you shatter the dragon's snout. Soul, you get hit by a ton of fire out the debris. Isis, you are like pushed backwards by all of the ground and the dirt and the rock, but you are now up looking above as this dragon is dead in this like rift. The body begins to crash downwards, and the caravan that's coming straight down on top of Mayrin's ragdolled body is caught by Grant as he holds his hands up like this, and you watch as the whole thing like collapses on him. It looks like Spider-Man holding up the metal in that scene. I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about, but just Grant, this towering minotaur, muscles, just standing in front. He kind of looks up, and he's trying to hold the way for you all to get out. And he can look over and sees Mayrin is down. Mayrin, you have a moment to do something if you'd like. You have choices when it comes to death in our game. And I know you know them.
Actually, I don't.
Okay.
Because we've never had to use them, so I don't know what they are.
Well, there are three. You can either decide to chance it, and you roll hope. You roll your dice, hope and fear.
We're gonna chance it because that's a Mayrin thing.
Hold on. and on the way I work it is the way on hope, you will stay up with 1 HP. Looking around. You will not have to but on fear you go out and you are dead. And there isn't, unless they go through the resurrection process. For this moment you are gone. You can go out with a blaze of glory where you can choose to do one thing and have that be a critical success. And then you're done. And you pass on. Or you can choose for you to live. And you will permanently mark one of your hope off. Your slots are gone forever. That one hope slot. And you have a permanent scar about this battle. But you are still completely knocked out. And somebody will have to carry you to safety.
That one seems more thematic and dramatic. I'm very on the path of all of my characters.
For those watching this that are also watching our show sometime in the future from now. Okay, Thea. Anyway, keep going.
But Mayrin would be the gambler.
All right.
And I am just have to roll higher on the hope, right?
That's all you gotta do.
So glad Caduceus dice didn't fail me. I rolled higher on the hope.
So, Mayrin, your body ragdolls and slams into the side to what's left of your caravan. Your caravan. And you are on the ground. You can feel your body has been racked with fire, and some of your hair has even been licked off in the flames. Your horns feel heavier than they ever have before. Your body in general just feels like it has almost passed over. and you look up, you catch your breath for a second, and you realize there's Grant standing in front of you, holding up the largest side of this caravan, his own caravan carriage. His body just sitting like this, and him looking back at you, blood coming from his own horns as one of them has ripped off his head for him to hold up this massive metal contraption. Pieces of it are falling like hail. Little bolts, axes, different things that should not be coming off this caravan because he's holding up the side of it. He kind of smiles, this bloody, dirty smile that he has in the middle of all of it. And he kind of sighs and goes, "You need to get up and run." And he looks forward. Just as the blue dragon's nail comes screaming through his torso. And you watch his back explode outwards. And the nail come just next to your face. And now my blue dragon will go. And I will start with Soul. The same deal that I gave to Mayrin. I'm going to roll to hit you. If I hit you, then you'll roll a strength roll against me not to get swallowed.
All right.
You're a 9, so I hit you on a 14.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I roll a strength roll to not get swallowed.
Yes, please.
$23 on hope.
Nice. You are not swallowed. You will take some physical damage, which I believe comes to about 26.
That is not enough to make my threshold with resistance.
I didn't think so. It kind of looks over, and you hear it yell, "That was my brother."
Soul's got a mouthful of key, or you mouth off.
Mouthful of key. I only have 2 more activations with this one. I'll wing buffet Asen.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to snaz a health potion right quick. 1d4. Boom! Hit points. Bet. Health potions are fucking awesome. Okay, go ahead.
Sure. I hit you. Okay, I'm sorry. It's a 24.
Okay. I was trying to see if you wanted to go through all of that. Go ahead.
It does 22 damage, but it also removes a hope.
See, now that's just mean.
How close is Asen to me? Is he still in the air?
No, he's on top of the red dragon, and you're over a little bit towards where Isis was.
Okay. Would that be considered very close range, or is that too far?
I think it's a little bit further than very close. It's not melee range anymore.
Yeah.
To reduce it. Alright, you said that was 20. What's the damage?
22.
Okay.
That ends that activation. But I will spend 1 fear to breathe in. So that means on my next turn, my blue dragon will get to shoot its ice breath at you guys. Grant is going to, holding the blue dragon in place, mind you, because Grant's holding up the metal caravan, but he also has the blue dragon's finger through him. He's gonna look, while he's still looking at Mayrin, telling her to leave. He will look back, still smiling at the blue dragon, and he'll just hear, You'll just hear him say, in a coughing, last sort of breath, "You all need to get clear of this dead dragon." And you'll see the smoke begin to bellow up, and you'll notice that he has all of his own bombs begin to light off of the hairs that are cindered on him, and realize that he has his own TNT and all the stuff he uses to excavate with wrapped up at his feet.
So is it our turn?
It is your turn.
So we need to move.
Pretty much.
So Marin's going to take a deep breath and she's going to whisper, "I'm sorry," and cast Vicious Entangle to further wrap this dragon's leg to Grant with vines.
Mm-hmm.
So even if it wanted to on 2 11s, it's at least losing a leg.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's going to run.
Jesus.
You take down the tunnel that he made, the path.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ace is definitely going to run. Well, he's going to grab whatever claw, whatever piece of blood
Yeah.
from the dragon.
Yep.
And he's going to take off running. But he doesn't want to stop by Grant and be like, "Legend." And he's like,
Yeah, Isis would then do the same thing, take off down the tunnel, and just look at Grant and just be like, and just nod and just say thank you.
Soul's gonna bring up the rear and just share a solemn look with Grant before keeping an eye on the back of the group and moving through the tunnel for the path.
Mm-hmm. I think that as you all start to run away, just one last time, you just can hear Grant kind of like just gargle up as loud as he can. You just hear him say, "Well, we're both tucked in," and you just see this, like, the whole ground shake as if the dragons had just landed for the first time. And there's this large explosion, like when the tower fell. And there's a bright light. And for just a moment, you can kind of see the stupid smile that he has in it. And there is a dead blue dragon leaned over the red one. And a very, very solemn spot where then the caravan that was being held in the air as this man died on his feet just slumps over on top of both their heads. You guys are running down this path into the woods. I believe all of you are pretty fucking hurt. Are we looking at the direction we're going, or are we just tearing as fast as possible into the woods?
ideally, we're going in the same direction as the Minotaur in the backpack.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think Soul's keeping an eye to the sky in case the silver one starts coming after us.
If you want to do
As-
that, then I can take the charge and, like, if I need to roll instinct or something to keep us in the direction we need to go towards the group.
I just need Soul to give me a just whatever. What would you use to keep track of something?
Probably his instincts. He's used
Sure.
to keeping track of things in the water with that, fishing, everything like that.
Sounds perfect. Give me an instinct roll on advantage because it's a large creature.
All right. So that is 15 plus 6, 22. On hope.
Okay. A lot of things are going to happen right now, all at once. You're very used to tracking, especially in hazardous conditions. You're used to being under the water where there are different channels, there are different flows, there are different focuses, there are different lights that are shining off of things. So you're running and you can see through the fire, through flashes, through the explosion. That, mind you all just killed 2 dragons. So you can add that to your list, Asen.
Start marking, like, like the little lines.
The front of the caravan is gone. It's not there. There are marks and things you can see. You can see silver dragon scales attached to tree trunks as if they were blown off of the side of this dragon. Stuck into things like they were hatchets thrown. And then you realize you see them near where you're running. They're next to you. You're running past them. You look. The trees are bent. A tracker would know that means that something large just tore through them. You turn. And as you turn, you realize that you all are running in the direction the dragon is. You hit the side of this clearing. You could stop them.
Yeah. I think that's what I'm going to try and do is run to the front of the group and stop everyone.
And as you do that, you can see the bits of Juju's caravan thrown about around you. And you hear the snarl first. And then you feel the fire of the silver dragon lick the back of your neck as the breath weapon engulfs you. And instead of making all of you roll, I'm going to tell you that you would go down at this moment. And there is something that happens. And we're going to get back to this moment in just a moment. Is the best way to put it. Isis, everything slows down. You see Soul turn and stop you guys, and this black silver jet of fire engulf his body, and you see Asen kind of like slide to the in front to almost like guard like what he's going through as the fire begins to pull him back. You just see the outline of Mayrin's antlers kind of pushing the fire back for her because of her crazy hair. It's kind of fire to begin with. And you can see the glass flower melt right as this moment stops. And you are there in a dark place. You know what this feels like. And it smells like home. Which is concerning to you.
Yeah.
And then it begins to bog itself down as if you're moving through molasses. And there's a light standing, and Mayrin's body begins to turn and move and walk towards you. And then you realize, no, it's not walking, it's just floating. And there's a woman's voice. And it says, "Oh, I assumed I'd be talking to the frog again. But I think you're one of mine. How did you get here?"
She would look around, knowing that she's back where she just left. And you would see Isis for the first time kind of like reach her full height as her entire body just like bursts in flames. And she just reaches over and finds like the nearest, I don't know, like a little mephit or something that's like walking by and just chucks it into the lava. And she's like, damn it, I am not supposed to be back here. I just fucking left.
You left hell.
Yeah, I left.
This light pushes into, it almost like pushes into your personal space a little bit more, and it almost engulfs it. So it's hard to see past anything else. You hear the little mephit. And you sizzles out. I was a great door. No, anyway. And then the woman's head tilts. I'm only able to leave here through help, well, through the means of others, but you say you came from the mortal realm, the mortal plane?
Yes. I was in the middle of completing a pact I had with a mortal to get my family out.
At this, you can see eyes push past the light of this woman's body that's floating. These eyes that are larger than the dragon eyes you just were looking at. They start to search. They search separately, almost like chameleon eyes, looking different directions. And then you can feel salt, and it almost tastes like the ocean around you. If the ocean was somehow fused with copper or some kind of electricity. There's something there to it that just tastes wrong, feels wrong. Well, I'm supposed to bring the dead to our siblings. Does that mean you're going somewhere else now? This is so much fun. I haven't gotten to take one of your heralds away for a long time. I'm sure you all still taste fine.
Isis would glare at her and say, look, I know what you want. I know you're trying to get to the mortal realm yourself. And she would grin. And she would say, I have the ability to help you. And you also have one of my friends under your hold who has a mission they have to complete for you. How about we make a deal?
You're friends with who? I have many followers there that are enacting all of my own marks.
She would look her in the face and say, I am friends with one of the bravest frogs you've ever met.
The eyes stop searching and they both center on you. Oh. That marked one.
Yes, that one.
There's a brief pause. The light begins to engulf you a little bit more. If I send you back, I want to be able to mark you. So that you have to become part of my pack instead of yours.
I will do this if you promise that you'll bring me and the rest of my party back to finish what we started. Because you can't leave here unless I finish what I need to finish.
I
You
believe
know that. I know that.
that another great warrior just passed, and I can put you back to the moment that he died, which should be able to give you just enough time to fix your friends' deaths as well.
She would think and ultimately decide that despite whatever pact she has to make with this being of death, it's worth it for the rest of her friends and for her family to make it to where they need to go. So she would agree.
Its quills kind of move up this body. It almost looks like this silhouette of what was Mayrin pushes forward, and its body cracks open, and like a door opens up, and she says, "Oh, well, welcome to the rest of our existence. I'll see you there." And you see this giant anglerfish mouth lean in, and you feel you feel its fangs dig deeply into your chest, and the body of Mayrin snaps shut around you like an Iron Maiden, and you just come to as Asen is nodding, and you can see it all happening in almost like black and white, and you realize you are just about to run into these woods as the explosion behind you happens, and you have a moment to change the next 4 minutes of your life. Isis, you are back in this moment. Go.
So we are, I just want to make sure I'm understanding where we're at. We are right as Soul is getting ready to put his hands up to stop us from where we're going. Is that, or are we before?
You're 4 minutes back. Grant has just died, and
Okay.
you're about to hit the path forward. You need to go a different direction.
Okay.
Unless you want to go fight the white dragon. That's up to you.
No, not necessarily. That would
All
be
right,
great. I don't want to do that. Okay. You would see Isis kind of like shake a little bit and just come back to. And just in like the deepest, most serious, like almost aggressive, I would say, type of tone, you would hear her just say, "Stop. We don't need to go this way. We need to find another way. If we go this way, we die."
Behind her words, Soul, you start to have that smell of the ocean that you had that first night that you had this dream. And it almost like it should like ping you. Something happened.
And getting that scent and hearing those words, I think Soul's gonna skid to a stop, just sliding in the mud and the blood, trying to just spit the key out and ask, "What happened?"
Spit the key out.
I saw all of our deaths. If we keep going this way, we will run into the other dragon and we will die. I was able to, and she would pull down her shirt and you would see she now has the same mark you do, to make a deal to bring us all back. We've got to go another way.
Mayrin, Roll me presence.
Is that good?
It's a crit.
Okay.
Yay!
I would say that, Mayrin, you have been... I think you're the most traveled out of everybody here. And even beyond traveled, I would say that you're the most... I don't want to say mortal, but like you've been back and forth between different types of mortality. Whereas Isis has always been who she is. Aeson's always just been a human. Soul has not traveled anywhere and done anything, as far as I can tell, other than this. This is Soul's great hero adventure.
Yeah.
But like Mayrin, you have been like, you hopped from here to there. This to that. Your mouth, you taste something different. It's like it's that feeling of unshakable, like you feel your own mortality for the moment. And I would say that in this moment you would believe her beyond any shadow of a doubt that something happened and you feel like time has been shifted or altered enough that it feels like almost like plane jumping, you know what I mean? I believe Mayrin would be the only one that understands that properly, based on what you said. You gave me her past, at least. Yeah.
So she points and she says, "Not that forward towards where we know the dragon is.
Mm-hmm.
Pick another forward and let's keep going."
For the record, Aeson's like running in place with like this dragon part. Like, okay, people, right? Like,
Yeah.
We can always come back for the other ones.
Right.
but this is the one that Aeson pulled off after he killed. No, we're keeping this one. So
And that one is Aeson. We can come back and get the big red dragon body.
So realistically, the question would be, do you go towards where the front of the caravan was, or do you go, I guess, south further into the rocky parts of the mountain foothills? If you go towards the caravan's front, it'll leave you out. It leads you out into like the plains that eventually become where you on foot you'd have to run, but you would eventually get to the temple. But it does lead you out into like the open plains. You'd have to go find somewhere to take cover.
open plains at the moment seems kind of bad.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like we kind of need a place to hide out for a bit
Right.
until it kind of blows over.
But
So
as long
not
as we have
open.
this, and I'll hold up the key, they might be able to find us still.
I'm just so against being out in the open right now. Like, that's
Yeah,
not.
So the
they
rocky,
still find us with the key though.
mountainside it is, or
Where's
the rocky
there-
foothills.
Oh, let's do odds and evens.
I know you said that like as yourself, but like my character was like, I literally bound my soul away to make sure you come back and you're betting it on odds and evens.
Cover sounds like our best bet, honestly. But gambling.
Oh my goodness.
All right. So I'm gonna assume we're running towards the rocky hills. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds that way.
All right. There's some
Boulder
like
purchase here.
you guys just take off running that way. And Isis averts your all's imminent
Demise
there. As you're running through and kind of dipping in and out of this hillside, eventually in the sun, because remember, this is the morning that this all happened. The sun kind of comes up. You're kind of like taking cover here and there. And eventually you get to this one outcropping of that leads into like some like shallow tunnels that, or shallow like cave little network stuff, almost like you can try to get into shade or whatever. And you'd see a little head kind of pop up off of some of the rocks, and 5 kind of waves.
Does that mean he found us a secure place?
He points to the little outcrop, like this little like area that you kind of leads up into like this. It's almost like what do you call those? Like springs, like hot springs that are like inside a cave. So it's a little bit more steamy or whatever, but it leads down there, and down there is Momo and a couple of the other Mumu, yeah. It's Mumu and a couple of the other Minotaur, and just some of the people that were in the caravan. 5 and Blue. And Blue has is currently like using what basic magic he has to keep molding earth to go further down into the side of this little hill to keep there being a safe spot. But Maurice walks over to Mayrin and holds out Audrey and says, "Safe." And like pushes it into your chest.
Okay. Asen definitely wants to take his part now that's been bleeding this whole time and push the next to blood, like right after he does.
Marin's gonna like take Audrey in one hand and the weird claw in the other. Just I got nothing else to do, I guess. Do we have a bucket?
Maurice kind of looks and goes, we have stuff. And 5 kind of like drags over a bucket that he was using to pull, like get spring water and like move it around to people that they could drink. And he like dumps the spring water out on the floor and like pushes it over to you. Bucket's bigger than him.
Oh, he's so cute.
Right. He's a good follower. He's a good follower. Good job.
Mayron's gonna try to, I guess, spend some time trying to figure out how to attach the claw cut side down so that it drains into the bucket. Because she also knows that if you feed meat to Audrey, it turns to mead.
Yeah.
So she has to separate the blood from the claw itself.
We'll call it one of your projects during downtime.
Yeah.
So Blue turns and says, "Well, I guess it's good we all got away. We'll have to go and scavenge and pick up from there maybe tomorrow or the next day if we stay here for a bit. We also have to find everybody else. But I feel maybe I can send some of my friends out to do that. And you can see some like birds and other little mushroom things that look like they're made of different mushrooms on his shoulder. And he just looks around and goes, "For now, I guess we're safe. You're safe here. It's good to see all of you, at least. You all owe me a caravan." And that's where we'll end it.
Right.
2 hours and 30 minutes. Perfect. I love you all. Thank you all for being here for episode 9, the climax of our fun.
Yeah.
We only have a couple more episodes to go, guys. But we'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Right.